What is up?
What's up? This is the Spalding Brothers Show with myself, Weston Spalding, and my brother, Wyatt Spalding. Today, we're going to talk about mainly Wyatt's tennis tournament that he just competed in called the Xperience tournament. Some of the top 32 Special Olympic tennis players in the country and sometimes even internationally as well. And he'll explain that more. And we're going to talk about also where we are both at business wise and just physical fitness wise, what we're training for, where we're at, what goals we're doing. And then we'll probably talk a little bit about basketball as well. But first off, Wyatt, I'm gonna let you kind of take it over here and just go ahead and talk about what the Experience tournament is, maybe how long you've been going to it, and then we'll get into how it went this past year.
Yeah, so the Experience is the only tennis tournament that I know of for Special Olympics that you get invited to. A lot of times, like you can like sign up and go to like these tournaments, like in Florida or South Carolina or whatever. But this one, like they have to like invite you. You can't just go. And it's the top 32 players in the United States. And sometimes, like one year, my first year, there was a guy from Germany there. They always try to get like people from different countries, but it's hard for them to come. I mean, it's in January, but it's even hard for the people in the United States to get here. It's just like weather-wise. And so yeah, it's like, I mean, it's the best of the best. It's just singles, which is the best way to do it. Is I mean, let's face it, tennis is an individual sport, and doubles is more of a team aspect. And I'd rather just do the singles and it's all up to you out there. So I've been going to this tournament called the Xperience, and it's experience with an X on it. They don't spell it like the normal way. It's with an X. So that's what makes it cool. And been going for like 7 years. I mean, it's been 8 years, but they didn't have it in 2021 because COVID. And I've gone 7 years. I think my record there's like 14 and 20. It's a very hard tournament. It's taught me a lot about mental game of tennis. Still teaches me about that. As this is what I trained for basically all year. It is kind of weird because you think like maybe your biggest event will be at the end of the year, but it's at the start of the year. Like it's in January. So like all of 2023, after January, I was like training for this tournament. And then my biggest event happens the week after New Year's. And we go and play with the University of Virginia men's and women's tennis team. And they're like top five, top three, number one in the nation. Like the men's team, I think just won back-to-back tennis national championships. The women's team won in like, I don't know this for sure, but I think like maybe 2 or 3 years ago or a year ago. And they just have a bunch of like banners up at this place called Boris Head. And this is where they play. And it's like banners on one side with all the conference championships and everything. On the other side, it's like Hall of Famers and like championships for team and then individuals. It's crazy. Like it was the first time I got to like see like an NCAA championship trophy because it's in like their glass. I don't know what you call it, but you know what they put them in. And yeah, it was pretty cool. So we get to play with them on the first day. It's like a fun day. Like you get evaluated sometimes to see what bracket or division you'll be in. And then
Yeah, what drills do they do when they evaluate you guys?
we just hit kind of like it's more for one year was like we actually did drills, but then the next year was like just keep pace. So I was like, oh, I can't remember the name of it, but I'm like a borderline. Like if you can hit with me, you play somewhere in 3A or 3B. So like I'm the third division guy. And like you just kind of like hit back and forth. You get like several serves, see how you serve, and you play out the point, but you don't keep score, but you just play points out, and if you can keep up with the other person and just kind of see like where you're at. Because like the guy that head pro there, Ron, he's like he's really good at like placing everybody where they need to be. And Dad's my coach, and he's been saying like it's gotten better like as I've gone. So from oh 2017 to 2024, tournament's a lot harder. Like now it's like the top 4 to 6 maybe are like in a class by themselves, and then it's everybody else. So it's just kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
that division 2 and 3 is pretty close.
Yeah, and then maybe like bracket 4A, you know, is like there's 1 to 2 guys that could play, and then 3, and then 4B is kind of like I don't know. It's the lower division, but they're pretty good too. And that's the only division you wonder
Is
like who can
Division
come back.
4 kind of like a lot of newbies or
Not really. It's more I played in 4A or 4B, I mean, like I played in 4B for like pool play, and then I won, so I moved up to bracket 4A and then got second in that. So it's kind of like maybe the people that can't move as much, like your court coverage is pretty limited, or you just like you have good strokes, but you're just not as consistent, or you hit the ball out more, can't keep pace on the ball. I'm not really sure because it's just like there are really good players. Like I hit with
yeah.
this one girl from Georgia, and she was good. Like she came like in 2019, and I hit with her like this year, and she got a lot better. Like you could tell, like her strokes were pretty good. And so I think it's more on like, in my opinion, it's more on like movement. If you can move, and I guess obviously keep the ball in more. But that 3B to probably 2B, maybe 2A, it's like all really close. Like I this year I played 4 matches. You play 5, but this year was kind of a bummer because only because like 6 people couldn't come, illness,
Mm.
weather, stuff like that, and so like we had 26 instead of 32, and then there was a couple people from like another country that were supposed to come, but they couldn't make it, and so uh, I played 4 matches, and we used to do like best 2 out of 3, win 6 games, win by 2, best 2 out of 3, and 10 point tiebreaker. Well, now they switched
In
it
30
where
seconds, explain tennis scoring to people who don't know tennis.
tennis scoring, like the game
Yeah.
scoring and the set scoring.
The whole thing. You got 30 seconds to
Okay,
do it. Go.
fine. It was 15, 30, 40. Well, actually, love, which is 0, 15, 40,
Actually, screw it.
50.
Forget the
I
game
can't do it,
part.
dude. It's too hard. Screw
Hold
it.
on. Let me try. Let me try. I think I got it. So you play the best 2 out of 3 sets. So first person to win 2 sets wins. Now to win a set, you got to win 6 games. And to win a game, you got to win 4 points, basically. But you got to win each game by 2. So you got this small little game. You got to win. It's first one to 4 points, but you got to win by 2 points, which you guys don't do the win by 2. It's just like who gets to 4 points first, right?
Yeah, yeah. If it's tied 40 all, next point wins.
Yeah, we're not going to try to explain to the public why tennis jumps by 15 and
I
then
don't
10
know. Talk to
points.
France. They came up with the sport.
Yeah,
It'd be,
what the hell, France? No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
it'd be different if
But
Canada did it.
anyway, you win. So you got to win this small game, and then you win 6 games to win the whole set. And then let's say you win the first set, your opponent wins second set. Instead of playing a third set to 6 games, you play a tiebreaker to 10 points. So now you're back to kind of a longer game. First one to 10 points, win by 2, wins that third set, which would then help you win the match,
Yeah.
right?
So, yeah.
Okay.
So that's tennis. That's what we used to do, like for the whole 5 matches. But now we did it that way, but we just took away 2 games. So instead of go to 6 games, win by 2, just play to 4 games, win by 1. Best 2 out of 3, and
Mhm.
then 10 point tiebreaker. Which I like. They did it because, some people, other players got too worn down. I'll admit I was one of those players, but I freaking loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Cause like you were just like by like second day you were dead. Like basically what's third day because the first day's fun day. And uh I would just be like so tired. But I mean it was still hard because like with the playing with the 4, like me, all my matches are close. Like you're out there for at least 30, 40 minutes each match. And then
Mhm.
so this year I went like I don't know, it was a weird year. I didn't win any of my pool play. I lost 4-3, 3-4, and then lost in a tiebreaker, 6-10, my first match. Then probably played the best guy there. He actually won like bracket 3A, basically was number one in the third division. And he beat me like 4-2, 4-2. But that was maybe one of the most intense matches because he kept pace real well. And we were just like firing forehands back and forth. We had the same exact game. Big forehands, big serves. So it was pretty fun. That one, I think if we would have played the 6 games, like we would have definitely gone over an hour playing because we were just around.
Yeah.
And a break, losing by like 2 games, so like a break. I don't want to explain what a break is. We don't have time. But it's like losing by two points in basketball, football, or maybe one run in baseball, something like that. Like it's really close.
Yeah.
So like he got me up. He won a game when I was serving. So it's like a break. So he broke me. And yeah,
Damn
so
it, Wyatt.
I know. I don't want to talk about it. Shut up, Wes. Shut up. And yeah, so I lost those 2. Then I played the same dude that I played the first match, JD, and this dude's like probably one of the most athletic guys I played, like ever. He's like 6'2", 6'3", maybe. And he was like,
Yeah, that picture of you guys staying next to each other is kind of funny.
yeah, because he's like really tall and he's like in shape and he's strong. And his best,
And he's got some arms.
yeah, dude, like he's long and he's so
Yeah.
like I said. And went to a tiebreaker again. I was playing like amazing. First set was won 6-1. Then like the first game of the second set, I like won. And then I like crumbled. So I get really pissed out there. Because like mentally I want to win. I thought about it too much probably. So
So a lot of people have never played tennis. Explain how momentum works in tennis, because sometimes it's like, man, like you're doing so well, but then what happened?
yeah, it's like a shot here, a shot there. Like one of my matches, dad said like you played good. You just hit shots out at the wrong time. And it wasn't like I was like just hit them way out, like and miss them by like that much, by inches. And then it's
Yeah.
like that gets to you. And then if you were up like I was, damn, I was up. I was playing so good. And like in tennis, you're just gonna get tight a little bit. Well, momentum is gonna change because that's just tennis. And
Mhm.
like and he was good. I mean, this guy, JD, he could cover the whole court. Like I said, good backhand. His serve, like you could notice, like as the match would go on, both times I played him, his serve would get better and better. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I finally got dad to admit that I like, that I kind of choked that match, but he wouldn't admit it during the match, which bugged me. He's like,
You're like,
"Let me,
just say it.
yeah, just say
Just
it."
say it.
Yeah. But
And like, how do you deal with
yeah,
that mentally? You've played a lot of tennis. How do you deal? How do you come back from, man, I just choked that match? How do you turn around like, all right, this is lesson learned, on to the next?
yeah. So, real quick, back to the match. I lost 2-6,
Hmm.
and then went to another tiebreaker, and then like we're playing the tiebreaker, and it's like 3-5, but we messed up the serving, like where you're supposed to serve. There's certain sides you're supposed to serve on. Do side, so that means it's tied. Add side means like you're up or down 1 point. And I was on the wrong side, or I served like 3 times in a row, which I was only supposed to serve twice. And so then it took them forever to figure it out. And like I said at one point, like, let's just play. And I'm down at this point. They're gonna take a point away from JD. And I was like, just play it what it is. And it was like 3-5 JD. So then finally we get Ron, the main director. He's like, you just play, uh, you start, you correct it, but you leave where you were at. So even though we messed up the serving, I lost like 2 points in a row. JD still gets the points, which I said in the beginning, like let's just play. And it like threw both of us off. Probably more JD than
Hmm.
me, because then I kind of started to come back. But still, like
Yeah.
I felt kind of bad because I was just like, I don't want to win this way. Like it's not that I didn't. I'm still gonna try to win, but to win like this way kind of sucks. Like I want to
Yeah.
win because I just played good. And I came back. I was down 6-3. Came back to tie it 7-7 and lost 10-7. So like I'm really upset. I think
Dang.
like I just wanted to win this match so bad. That's the problem. Is when you want to win so bad, you choke. And that's what
Why do
happened.
you think that is?
I think like you just are so intense, and like you tighten up, and that's what happened to me. I just tightened up, which happens in tennis. I mean, everybody there probably tightened up at some point, and I've seen matches like that happen at this tournament.
Mhm.
And I mean, this is our tournament of the year, bro. It's our U.S. Open, it's our Australian Open. It's like if you for college, it's like the national tournament, or high school
Yeah.
state tournament. Like this is it. And I was more mad because like I put so much stress on myself. Sometimes I just don't want to play tennis anymore because I'm just so stressed about it. But it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I was mad because I was stressed. Like, who cares? My life is not going to change. Like, your life would probably change more. Let's say if you did really well at the national tournament in college basketball, NAIA basketball tournament. Like, you probably get some connection. Like, oh, that guy was really good, and maybe get a job here or there. But like for me, it's like nobody's really gonna like, it's not gonna be on ESPN. No one, they don't videotape the thing. So it's like no one really knows much about it. And
Mhm.
like my Special Olympic Nebraska, they'll know about it. So I can put that on my resume if I give a speech or whatever, I get noticed, like maybe statewide or locally, but no one's gonna know except me. And I'm just so competitive. That's the problem. So I choked, but JD deserved. I mean, he's a good player. Like he came back. Like, I mean, I beat him 6-1, and he came all the way back and won. So he's a good player.
Yeah.
And so I was pretty like upset. So then I just like took a walk, and I was like fuck, like shit, man, I just blew it. And then so I eventually like get over it after an hour, kind of, and I have to go play one more match, and I play like my best friend Matt from Illinois. We've been friends like since 2017 when I started
Okay.
going.
So to recap, just to recap, you played two play games.
Yeah,
You lost both those pretty close. And then your first tournament game,
I
you
lost.
played the same. Yeah, you played the same guy you played in pool play.
Yeah,
Yep. So that first match, not the guy that won 3A, but
yeah,
the
yeah,
guy that's just a little more athletic.
yeah.
And then so you lost that one, and now you're playing, and it's three people. So it's you, JD,
And
and
Matt.
your best friend Matt. Yep. And you guys are playing like a round robin for your division championship.
Yeah, pretty much. And
Yeah.
like every match to me matters, but a lot of players like, well, pool play doesn't really matter because they just want to see where you're at. And I was like, yeah, but I want to win every match. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So,
Yeah. Trying to dominate.
yeah, exactly. But like I said, that can hurt you sometimes. And
Mhm.
so I go play Matt, and Matt plays JD, and Matt wins like in straight sets, but it's like really close. It's like 6-4, 7-5. So if Matt wins the next one, he wins our bracket, gets first place. And like, I don't know what's happens if I win, but it's like, I just like don't care. I'm gonna go out and try to win. I tried like not to care at all. So I was like, whatever. So I went out there. I won the first three games. Was on fire, just like the last match in the first set. Was up like 5-2 at one point. So one more game and I win the first set. Matt comes all the way back. He like kind of woke up, wasn't moving the best right away, and then he started like just covering everything. And I was just like damn, like. And Matt and I have like a rival going. We've been just back and forth, and there was a long time I couldn't beat Matt. Because like
Mhm.
mentally he was just stronger than me. And then so I was like pressing at the end, went to a tiebreaker again in the first set. And because so we played to 7 points instead of 10, and uh, I lost that tiebreaker 7-9. And here I go again. Like I felt like I choked the first set away. Like I'm kind of mad, but I'm more mad than like I'm just mad about it. Like it's just like who
You're
cares?
mad that you're mad.
Yeah, I am because it's like why can't I just play? And like it's supposed to be fun, and it's like this is not fun at all.
This fucking sucks. This is not fun. I'm not having a fun time.
Yeah, not because I'd probably be playing better.
Reminds me
That's
of
the whole
that scene
point.
from Remember Titans? Is football fun? No, football is not fun, sir. Or whatever it is, whatever that scene is.
Oh yeah, from Remember the Titans, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's like if I would just relax and I'd play. But I mean, I know you're gonna get tight because these are sports, you know?
Yeah.
But so I blow that, and I was kind of just like taught Dad like I'm not having fun, I'm tense, and Dad's like the only person like, yeah, if you're not having fun, then don't play. But I know you want to play because you're competitive and just relax. And
Yeah.
I made a joke one time, like after I lost that first match to Dad. I was like, we're on competitive, and it's all your fault because I'm just like you because you're competitive.
That's funny.
So, and I won like a tournament last summer where I was the only one with a disability in it. And he's like, you won because you just went out and played. You didn't think about winning the thing. You just played and just go out and do it. And I was like, fine. So I went out and I won the second set 6-2. And then we went to another tiebreaker. So at this point, in 4 matches, I played 1, 2, 3. This is my 4th tiebreaker in 4 matches. So, and before I talk about this tiebreaker, last year I played in two tiebreakers, lost them. So then my last match went into a tiebreaker, and I was like, I am not losing 3 tiebreakers. I didn't. I won the tiebreaker and I won my last match and I went 2-3. And so that's what I told myself before this one. I was like, I'm not losing 4 tiebreakers. I'm gonna win a tiebreaker. And I ended up winning the tiebreaker 10-3. And then because usually there's 4 in a bracket. So this is where it gets very complicated. There's 4 in a bracket. So you win or lose, you go one way or the other. So if there was another person in our bracket, and just because certain people couldn't show up, so we didn't have the number we usually do. Who knows? I might have played JD first, or could have played him in my second match, whatever. But usually you win, you go one way, lose, go the other way. Well, this is just pool play. We all went 1-1. All of us, we all tied for records 1-1 in tournament play, which actually is pretty good when you go to this tournament and you really think about it. Like that's what you want, is like the competition to be that close. So
Yeah.
they added up all the games, and it's kind of messed up. It's like JD went 2-2, but he was out because he didn't have as many games as Matt and I. So they added up the games. Still, like JD's out because he didn't at a point he didn't have as many, he didn't win as many games as Matt and I. So it's just Matt and I they're counting. They add up all the games, and it's tied. And we won the same amount of games. But because I
Oh,
won the
that's crazy.
match, against Matt, I got first place.
So when they type the games, it's just like those last 2 matches, right?
Yeah, I think they're just counting the tournament day. I think.
Yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
Because Matt wasn't in our pool play bracket. JD and I were in the same pool play, but not but Matt wasn't in our pool play bracket. So
That's crazy.
yeah, I mean, because all the matches were close too. That's what's crazy. Like JD and Matt didn't go to a tiebreaker, but 6-4, 7-5, that's really close. It's like 2 games. It's a break. And so I don't know. It was weird because I've never gotten first ever in bracket. And I was just and so we didn't know who won until they lined us up. And so I sat next to Jay, who played in pool play. And I knew he had won his bracket. So I was like, well, I guess I won. I'm sitting next to Jay. So yeah. I don't know though. It was a weird feeling because I only won 1 match. I mean, I did tell Dad to try to stay more positive. I did tell Dad in that match with Matt, I was like, well, at least you can't say I'm never in the match because they're all close. I don't get killed. And so, yeah, I was just, I thought I would feel more happy at the time because, let's say I go 2-3 or 3-2, and I went 2-0 and I won because but I don't know. And then so I felt good because I got first, and then Ron, who gave me the medal when he gave it to me, he was pretty happy for me and proud of me that I won it. And I was too to get it, but it was a weird way to win it. You know what I mean? But it's you gotta see what you can control. And, we had an odd number. There was 3 people instead of 4 in the bracket. So it's like, it's not my fault that someone couldn't show up. We didn't have 4. And
I mean, you overcame all the adversity from one getting there, which is a huge adversity
yeah, we'll get
for
into that.
Special Olympic athletes.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
get into that after this. But yeah, like
Yeah.
getting
Two,
there. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I would say two, like, you know, being sick, because you're probably going to get into this, but, you had ammonia before this, which is like, everybody's like, oh, poor Wyatt. I'm like, man, the amount of times that dude's had ammonia before something big is probably like 5 or 7 times. And then, just not giving up when you have choked, not letting that completely like destroy you mentally. So bouncing back from that, coming back in your last match, I remember I was talking to mom and like you lost. I wanted JD the second one, like the tournament play.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, he's pretty mad, he's pretty upset. And then she texts me and she's like, yeah, he just was up 5-1 or 5-2 and lost the first set to Matt. And I was just like, oh shit. I was like, hopefully he can bounce back here. And I'm like, that's like tough when you lost that. That's like, like you say you stop caring, but when you say like screw it, you kind of stop trying to control the future and you just kind of like are in the present and trying to play, which sounds super easy, but for all sports and even like in daily life, it's so hard to do when like things maybe aren't going your way. And you talk about a lot. Like tennis is more about winning ugly, that you just find a way to win. Usually you're not playing your best because of the pressure and like getting tense. And on top of that, with Special Olympics, like you only get like less than maybe 3 big tournaments a year, and this is the biggest of the biggest. So then you are trying not to stress yourself out even more. So that was cool. You got first. It was like more of a like a reward for consistent like practice and like resiliency. And you're one of those physically disabled people at this event where a lot more people are intellectually disabled,
Yeah.
but that's kind of like your strength that you can use. And I think that strength helped you win this first place medal.
Yeah. And like,
That mental toughness.
yeah. And then like, um, I was like, well, at least I came in when it mattered the most. you know, I always think
Yeah.
like, I just feel like I can't finish. I've been in like so many tiebreakers in this tournament. Like one year, my second year was honestly like, you look back on it now and it's like, well, it was fun. In the moment, it's like losing is not fun. Okay. But you look at the match, like, oh yeah, that was intense. All of my 3 pool play matches went into a tiebreaker. And this is when we played to 6 games, 2 out of 3, and then a 10-point tiebreaker. So I'm like, I'm on the court for probably close to 3 hours, maybe a little over that day. And I just remember like the night, like that night, I couldn't sleep because I was so sore. And like I had these bad blisters. And then
Yeah.
like the next day I got beat like both matches in straight sets. Actually, and I won the first match and then I lost the rest, but like my first pool play and lost. So that
What
was
year was that?
that was my second year. So that was 2018. So, because I hadn't won I didn't win any matches my first year. I went 1-4, year 2-3. Then I went 3-2, uh, year 4-5. And then I went 2-3 last year. And I went 1-3 this year. So it's very hard. But then like I need to like think of it as like it's just a tournament to see where you're at, honestly. Which is hard when you
Yeah.
get out there. Cause it's like you want to win. But it's like and I did
Mhm.
better probably mentally the last 2 years. But because I went 2-3 and 3-2. And I remember like the one year I think the second year you came with me. You just like had this like moment with me. And it's like, dude, you are not, you just play. You're not good enough to be in like, because I know where everybody's ranked. That's the problem. It's like, I know where everyone's ranked and like, they don't really rank us, but it's like, you kind of know like who the best of the best is in the country by looking at where everybody finished.
Mhm.
And I just, I want to be the best, be as high up as I can be. So like 1 year I lost a bunch of tiebreakers. The third year I got bumped to like the fourth division. I was mad about it, but just at myself because I couldn't come through in the year before and winning those tiebreakers. And then you were like, it doesn't matter, bro. It's like you're not good enough to play in the two division or one A or the first division anyway. He's like, do you think you can do it? He's like, I was like, yeah. Like, oh, right now you can't. You're just not good enough right now. So just focus on winning this. And then that's the first year I had a winning record there. I went like 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
And like, but it's just, I don't know, it's just hard. Like,
Yeah.
so you practice all year for this. You want to do good. You're always worried about not being invited back if you don't do good, which is kind of not true, I guess. Because if they see you improve, even though you lose, and you can tell when you even if you lose, you can tell who has improved and who has not. So, I mean,
Yeah.
but like I said, it's like it's our state tournament. It's our
Dude, the same thing happens.
good.
The thing like where I was talking to you about that 1 year when I coached you
Mm-hmm.
about look, this is where you're at. So you can't try to be that 1A, 2A division because you're not there right now. And I keep telling when I coached a lot of CrossFit, people are like, oh, I don't want to be able to do that. I want to be able to like whatever, do bar muscle up or do the open workout or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but you are not there right now. Like that's not where you're currently at.
Right.
Like where you're currently at is because of everything you have done leading up to that moment. So if you want to get over, sorry, I'm trying to be in the camera here. If you want to get over here, then you got to do everything from here to here in between to get there. And it's just like, you can't be mad about where you're not at. You should be happy about where you're at because a year ago, you would die to be where you were at right now. So it's
Yeah.
like you just got to keep going and keep doing your stuff. And I preach that to myself all the time because I'm like, oh, I'm not there yet. And I'm like, well, I just got to put in the work. And it's like, well, how fast do you want to put in the work? Like, what else do you have going on in your life? What other obstacles you trying to overcome? Sometimes like you got to take smaller steps than what you want to. But the person, what is it? It's like a quote. It's like the person who's willing to walk forever will reach their goal, but the person who wants to sprint will end up getting tired and giving up a lot quicker. So
Yeah. And I
I feel
mean,
like you've
like,
always just liked that walk phase.
yeah. I mean, I guess like you just want to be the best you can be, and I also come to the factor that maybe I won't reach. I mean, not saying I won't, but you never know. Like you guys could just play in three, maybe get up to two someday, and never reach the top division. But you gotta train like you will, like because like I mean, the one thing that
I think you could definitely play in 2A, and then who
yeah,
knows what happens from there. But
right,
I think because it's so close from Division
yeah,
2A and
divi
2B to 3A, 3B.
yeah, exactly. Like that's how competitive it is, and like I play other sports, and some of them do too. But them are like the very top ones. All they do is play tennis. And it's like
Yeah,
that's the problem with me. Like if tennis is my favorite sport, like I probably would just play tennis, but it's not. I played tennis to start with because I wasn't good at any other sports, and tennis came the easiest to me. And
yeah,
make probably I feel I make create my own pressure because it's just like I want like people say I'm like good in Nebraska and I want to represent the state, but it's like I'm just gonna go out there and play. Like I just gotta do that.
hmm
It's easy like in the USTA
I've always,
tournaments because I'm the only one with a disability in the division. It's like, oh, no one
hmm
expects me to win anyway, probably. So I like to relax and I
yeah,
just play well. So, but
yeah.
yeah. I mean, like, how would you say, like, did you see that when you used to coach basketball? Would you see that with like your players? Like, they wanted to be the best player on the team, but it's like, okay, you're not there right now, but you can help us by doing this or something like that.
Yeah, from coaching, I guess probably more from playing because I played more than I coached. Um, like dudes wanted to be on the court or thought they deserved more playing time, and I'm just like, dude, you haven't put in enough work to deserve it. And sometimes, whatever, your coach maybe doesn't like you as much as some other players, which all humans do. You naturally rank your friends, and we probably even rank our family members in like who we like doing certain things with the most, or like, like you just have favorites. It's human
Yeah,
nature. Like it's gonna be like that. And I think you gotta overcome that, and you gotta look at facts and like facts. What's your shooting percentage? Facts. How many times does somebody score on you? Facts. How many rebounds do you get? Facts. How many times do you mess up the play? And if you can do everything right, then you got to be so good that it's hard to get taken off the court. And I think just people want it, but they don't want the work that it takes. And when you start doing it, you realize it's going to be a lot harder than what you think. And everybody hears this. I just think everybody who thinks they deserve playing time, it's like everything you receive is a bonus. Like if you're on a team, bonus. If you get a minute in the game, bonus. And sometimes, I fell into that thing like, maybe deserve to play more, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, what else was I not doing? Like, if I wasn't like sleeping right, even like meditating, like with your mental game and like eating right, doing extra drills in the gym, working on this, like, then you only have to blame yourself. And when you put the responsibility on yourself, then you start becoming like the best version of yourself on the court, which then just makes you the best overall. And I think
yeah,
from a coaching standpoint, I need to set that expectation a lot higher, especially with parents, because parents think their kid is like, the greatest thing in the world, which they should. But from a basketball standpoint, if your kid's like missing practice, not doing work outside, like when people say, "Oh yeah, I work out," it's like, well, if you work out with the team, it's not a workout. If
yeah,
you work out with everybody else, it's not. You didn't work out. You just did the team practice that everybody else is doing. Like you're doing stuff that everybody else isn't doing. And as I get more into health, I'm like, yeah, if you want to be better than everybody else, then go to sleep like at the same time. Like eat the things that are right for your body, meditate, journal, visualize, do all the boring shit that nobody wants to do, and you're gonna be way ahead. And even now, like in my business, I'm like trying to be better at like tracking things. I'm really good at like doing things, but then I'm like crap, I don't know the stats on this if it works or not because I'm not tracking it right. So like this past week and past 2 weeks, been really trying to like track and organize and do all the boring stuff and do like the daily reach outs to people and do the daily posts on social media. And it's not like the most fun thing, but it's just like the boring work, kind of like how when you practice, you just hit off a wall all the day. And kind of, I think once you start doing the boring work, you kind of start enjoying the boring work because you start seeing it working. Like, what do you
yeah,
think about that?
yeah. Like I like going hit off the wall. I like hitting off the ball machine by myself or shooting baskets alone. Like I'm not really one
Hmm.
to like, hey, you want to come work out with me? I'm like, I'm gonna go work out by myself because I can go at my intensity. Which honestly, if I work out with other people sometimes, their intensity does not match my intensity, and like I can't get what I want done. Like
I
some
know.
people,
Doesn't that just piss you off?
yeah, it's like they just want to like stand and shoot, which is fine. But it's like I want to stand and shoot but run at the same time, like do a game speed and run up and down the court. Nobody wants to run up and down the court, make like 20 layups in a row. And if you miss one, then you have to like start all over or whatever, or like shoot, make 20 layups, then shoot threes when you're tired. Like they just want to like shoot threes first when the legs are fresh, and it's just like this is not gonna help you. Like you're gonna be get the ball in the fourth quarter and you're gonna miss. So or like one thing I would do is like I'd do like
Yeah.
conditioning drills for tennis, and then I would serve. So I'd serve like when tired,
Hmm.
and yeah, it's just I mean, and I enjoy having a
Hmm.
workout partner, especially since like we don't get to do it really much anymore. And so I have certain friends that will like work out to a good intensity, but it's funny when I'm by myself, like it's just a higher intensity and get what I want done. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
uh,
know. Like even when I would lift weights by myself, I would be like, man, what if somebody else is like lifting more, lifting harder, going harder? It's like you almost play this game in your head, like, well, what is my competitor doing? Like they must be going so much harder. They must be like working on their weaknesses way more than me. And you just think about that. And it's almost like a fear basis, but you gotta know how to like use it. It's like a game. You gotta know
Yeah,
what tools to use to get you to
right,
focus on what you don't want to focus on or hit that next level.
right. Because like I mean, I would do that all the time. I just would create a person in my head, like, oh, this person's probably working out harder than me, probably shooting hoops,
Mhm.
probably playing tennis. It's hard because I like to play other sports. So it's like,
Yeah.
should I not play more sports? But it's like, I guess like if you play other sport, it helps you with your main sport, plus like competition.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, I mean, I would always do that, especially in high school. So you just kind of make something up in your head and be like, oh, I bet you this person thinks I can't do this or I can't do that. So I'm gonna have to go out and like show them. So, but yeah, I mean,
Um,
good.
go ahead. Oh,
Oh, I mean, like,
yeah.
yeah, I just would like kind of like that Michael Jordan thing I was gonna say, like on The Last Dance, we literally make shit up. And then like that would motivate him because he was so much better than everybody. It's like, or if someone said something about him that wasn't really that offensive or, cocky, it's like, I'm gonna go out there and I'm just gonna shut this person down. And obviously it did.
Hmm.
And yeah, I would just like, oh, I'd go like if I couldn't think of anyone like that would said something about me, I would literally think of like you and dad and be like, oh, I bet you they think I can't do this or I can't do that. Screw them. I'm gonna show them. Go out and play hard.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
So
You gotta do that sometimes.
yeah, like one game I had during my basketball season, like 2 years ago, I had like 4 points. I missed like 3 or 4 layups, and so like the fans, it's like a balcony up above, right, the sidelines. So dad just like peeks over. He's like, "Hey Wyatt," and I was like, "Yeah." He said with like a smile on his face, and he's like, "Make your layups." And I was like, "I know." So then I'm like in my mind, I was like, "Oh, I could use that." So in my mind, it like pissed me off that he said that because I knew I was
Yeah.
missing them. And then I went out and I scored our first 12 points
Nice.
and we won. But it was just funny, like, oh, if he wouldn't have said that, maybe I still would have sucked the whole game. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. How do you handle, especially on the tennis court, of being present, trying not to get too mad? Like, how's that? What's your mental game like when things are going well and things aren't going well when you play tennis?
Well, like, one, like that match I choked, like, there's always like one match you'd go back to your terrible ways. And that's what happened. But now it's like most matches, like, I try to just do deep breathing, focus on your breathing, that like slows the game down. So I'll do that.
Hmm.
Like, I'll close my eyes for a second between points and see like I watch like a lot of pro tennis, so I see like how they hit the ball. So when I'm envisioning it, it's not them hitting the ball, it's like me hitting the ball. And so I want to hit it, so I just try to
Hmm.
do that. Or like if I really am kind of tense, I just like thinking like the worst possible thing that's happened to me. And like, it's kind of a benefit for me because like some of my stuff is like life and death that I've been through. So I think about that and I was like, well, if I lose this match or win it, like let's say I do lose it, it's not the worst thing. I've already been through the worst thing in the world, which is surgeries
Yeah.
and all that. So that kind of helps me sometimes, like, and it loosens me up and I just play. And sometimes I am tight. And I was like, all right, we're gonna have to win this the hard way, which is not gonna look good at all, but we just gotta keep going. And it's gonna be a lot of
Yeah.
bunting, maybe some defense, a lot of breathing, like like semi grunt, like how players grunt. Like if I'm really tight, like right when I'm about to hit the ball, I just like exhale and I kind of like deep breathe and stuff as I'm hitting because then it loosens my arms up and I use my legs more. So I'll do
Hmm.
that. So yeah, just kind of like I have different methods or kind of depends on the match or what I'm thinking. I mean like, all right, just gotta get through it. That's the hardest part about tennis is getting through the match mentally. It's just the hardest part.
Hmm.
And I think it's like one, not if one of the hardest sports mentally to do because you don't got teammates out there like telling you to, you know, perk up and it's all right, next shot, next play. No, it's just you out there, man. And let's face it, you're your own worst
You
enemy.
versus you.
It is. It's your own worst enemy. You're your own worst enemy, bro. Sometimes when things start to crumble. So
Mhm.
And I mean, like I said, I choked one match away.
It's true.
Came through
Well,
the
to
net.
wrap up this podcast.
Yeah, good.
Sorry. I was going to say, wrap up this podcast. I want to hear your takes on the NFL games today. So we got Steelers and Bills playing.
Okay.
The Bills spread is 10 points. So Bills win by 10. And then you got Eagles and Buccaneers playing. Oh, wait, no, sorry, that's Monday. It's the wrong day.
Well, yeah,
Backtrack.
go.
Today we got Packers and Cowboys
Yeah.
playing. And it's Dallas by 7. And then
Okay.
you got Rams, Lions playing Detroit by 3. Who do you think is going to win?
I think it's going to be Rams.
And what do you think the score is going to be?
I think the Rams going to win 34-31. And then I think the
Okay.
Cowboys are going to win 28-21. What do you think?
You got my Packers losing? Come on, man.
Dude, they're like the 7th seed.
Upset.
All right, what's the score?
Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I've been watching more Denver Broncos games than Packers games this year, so I don't even know how they play.
So you're a Denver Broncos fan now.
I'm turning into a local. You're turning a local. You're wearing an Avs jersey right now.
Hey, it's the closest hockey team towards me. So
Is it?
no,
I guess KC doesn't have one, do they?
no. Well, Minnesota's closer, but I mean,
Oh,
I was there first. So it was our first hockey game. I had to get a jersey.
yeah.
So you got your
I
Packers
know.
losing or what?
Dude, I don't know. It's like I kind of just want to see the best teams play each other.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I want a good game, but I would also like to see the Cowboys. Who would the Cowboys play if they won?
It kind of depends who else wins because like the seeding. I just want to see the Cowboys play the
Yeah,
49ers in the championship round. That's what I want to see. Cowboys and Niners.
that'd be legendary.
It is,
Yeah,
it would be. And the Niners probably would win, but still, I want to see it. So who do you got, Wes? Packers?
I think I got the Cowboys. I got Cowboys. I'm gonna say 24-21 Cowboys.
Okay.
And then I got Lions winning. I think Lions are gonna win. Go high scoring. Go 35-28.
Okay. Nice. And then I got
Yeah.
for Monday, I got the Bills winning. Like it's supposed to be cold, so 24-10. And then I got the Bucks upsetting the Eagles. 17-14. So
Dang.
yep.
Why do you have the Bucks upsetting?
The Eagles are crumbling. Everybody's injured. AJ Brown's not even playing. And then like they just said like they've crumbled. And you gotta do like a upset. So and I don't really mind
It's
Baker
true.
Mayfield.
It's a good point.
I like Baker Mayfield. I don't think he's like as good as Jalen Hurts, obviously, but somebody's got to root for Baker Mayfield. So I'll do it.
Yeah. Nice.
Who do you got for
Well,
Monday games?
It's a good
Who you got,
it's a
Wes?
good podcast.
Real
Good to
quick,
hear.
Wes. Wait, who you have for the Monday games? Don't leave me hanging.
Damn it, Wyatt. I hate picking. I got Bills. Bills. I mean, I don't know anything about football like you do, but I got Bills thinking up pretty big upset, or not upset, but pretty big win. 28 to actually we'll go kind of close, 28-17. And then we'll go. I got the Eagles. I think the Eagles are gonna turn around, pull it through. But I think it's gonna be close. I'm gonna say 20-17.
Okay.
Eagles.
Cool. All right. Now.
Yeah. Now I can end it? Okay.
Yeah. Now. You
All right. Thanks for watching the Spalding Show with Wes and Wyatt. We're going to be doing more talks like this. Probably more about Wyatt's YouTube and podcast channels, more about my coaching, online coaching and in-person coaching for nutrition and fitness, and then just all the other stuff we do along the way. So make sure to stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't yet. Help us out. share this podcast, share a clip that you liked. And if you want to leave us a review, that'd be helpful as well. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.
See ya.